Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Against All Odds. And I'm really excited today to introduce my next guest because I've known her for a while. We actually work together, kind of, and
Yes.
she's one inspirational lady. Welcome, Laura Smith, mindset nutrition coach, just empowering women all over the country. How are you, my dear?
Thank you. I'm really well, thanks. I am really well.
Good, good. So I always start by asking people why they do what they do.
Oh, yeah. Why do I do what I do? I guess from my own experiences and what I've been through in my own past. And I guess, like a lot of people, inspire people in that area because of what they've been through. And, the biggest thing for me, and I was talking to Adam about this the other week on his podcast, was that, when it comes to our lives and trying to be motivated to make time for the gym or our health or me time, your food, all these things, we struggle. That's the one word that I hear all the time from women is I'm struggling to fit it in, I'm struggling with time, I struggle to be motivated. And it's the thing of I don't want women to struggle because you don't need to. Because
Yeah,
I have been there where I've struggled with my confidence, where I've struggled with getting results and then not getting results because I was just messing about with my food. I wasn't, committed as much as I thought I was. I've struggled with my mindset. I've struggled with, my upbringing and not having a lot of support for many, many years. I've struggled with bad relationships, everything like that. And it's like you don't need to struggle. And I want to empower women and inspire them to be like, you can have time for yourself and you can be confident and you can be, proud of who you are and achieve things and make time for you and all that because it's whilst it sometimes it's not easy, it's simple. And as human beings, we overcomplicate things, as you know, like more than me, like we overcomplicate things massively. And it's just simple things that we need to do as kind of like a formula, say, to get the successful outcome. It is really simple things when it comes to your training, when it comes to what you eat, when it comes to your habits and things like that, and working on your mindset. It's like it's simple things, but we want to make it as easy as possible. So we want to do them, you
yeah,
know?
interesting. I think I won't say men don't struggle with this because I think they actually do, but for
Yeah.
women, it's like trying to balance work life, health, being a mom, housework. It gets really difficult. So when somebody is like first comes to you, do you find that they've got this, I won't say an excuse, but a belief that they don't have the time to do them?
Yeah, time is a massive thing because we do, say to ourselves, I don't have time. And once you get into that state of mind where you say, because I've done it saying I ain't got time, then you start looking for all the reasons why you haven't got time to do something, whereas actually you need to just take a breath and go, right, I have got time. Where is my time? How can I make the time? And how can I fit it in? Because it's that solution-based mindset of like, how can I want to do this? How do I make it happen? And if you're like kind of we're afraid to ask for help,
Mm.
especially if like I've been been a single parent for about 7 years. But before that, I've never really had a lot of emotional support or proper support from my family growing up. So I felt like I've had to figure things out a lot on my own. But then when you start working on your mindset and you start really working on you and you're like, yeah, I can do this on my own and I can do it. And I don't need help. You kind of get a bit of backup, you back up going, I can do everything. And then you burn out and then you're a bit too scared to ask for help because you feel like you're not being that strong person that you perceive yourself to be. So it is a case of, you've got to ask for help and delegate stuff and make things possible. Like, don't feel guilty for it. Don't feel guilty for it
Yeah.
at all.
It's interesting that because I know quite a few women that they've probably either gone through like a relationship breakup and they've not had much emotional support, that you literally do go in, right, I'm responsible for everything, I'm going to do everything, and it's my job to just be in charge of everything. So it's almost like we go, I've been there, like we go into this super mindset that's not healthy
Mm.
because we alienate ourselves, don't we? And then we tend to put ourselves at the bottom of the pile as well. We'll sort everybody else out, and then we'll just be at the bottom of the pile. But that's quite a hard mindset to get out of, because
It
you find it
is.
when you say to women like, where's your self-care, it's like automatically start standing back and like feeling like a bit sick. Why that's quite common, isn't it, in women?
Yeah, so just going back to that last question, like a lot of women like have started to reach out to me because they just get to a point where they can't carry on doing what they're doing, and they want to start working on themselves because, you know, obviously they have trained, you know, they do like training, they do like going for walks, they like to feel healthy and in control, you know, and that best version of them. But then, you know, demand, like we feel like we've got so much more on our plate nowadays, haven't we?
Yeah,
I mean, we have, like, we really have, you know, we know everything's gone up, mortgages and everything's gone up. So you've got that the finance to sort out. And then kids are doing all your activities because you want them to have opportunities. So then you're doing that. You know, there's more demands at work or in your business. And then you kind of, in your relationship, you've got to balance a relationship. Or if you, it's literally like, I was having a chat to myself this morning about, like, I am struggling to balance everything. You can never get a balance because one thing will always suffer a little
yeah,
bit, you know?
yeah,
So we never get that balance, but it's got to be kind of a bit healthy, not unhealthy, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah,
again, that can look different to everybody, you know, that answer. If you ask about work-life balance to everybody, everyone's going to have a different answer, what that looks like to them. Yeah,
yeah,
but we do have like so much to do. It was that quote that I'd seen years ago about you have to, I can't think what it is now. You have to work like you haven't got kids, and you've got to, you know, act like a mum who hasn't got a job. You know, you've got to be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you know that thing? I can't think word for word what it is, and it's like you're right. Like we've got to
Yeah,
have this lovely clean house, and what I've noticed on social media a lot is that these videos and everybody's got spotless kitchens with not a thing out. I'm like, yeah, because they're making a video, so of course they're going to make the house look like that. I mean, I could turn my camera around. I've got my gym stuff there. I've got a protein shaker there. I've got a wire coming out here. I've got some stuff out there. But, you know, you can only see this bit. But I'm not stressing about it because it's just, I'm getting on with other things. You
yeah,
know, we
yeah.
just put too much pressure on ourselves because of definitely social media takes a play in that.
Do you know what? I'm glad you've mentioned that, because I think, social media can be used for good things, but a lot of people are comparing themselves. Like they've got like the fantastic mum, and they're like jogging while they're like pushing a pushchair, and then they've got like a fridge full of meal prep stuff, and it all just looks like they've done it really easily. So from an
Yeah.
outsider, it's like, oh my God, how have you done that? How you've even started? And then you don't start because it just looks that perfect. And you just, yeah, absolutely, that 100%.
Yeah.
Um,
Like you say, social media, you do get a lot of good things from it, but you've got to really filter out what you're looking at. But you've got to really filter it out. And
yeah,
because otherwise you are going to start comparing yourself to a lot of things
yeah,
as well. But it's
absolutely.
not real life. It's not real
Yeah,
life. You're seeing the best bits all the time.
yeah. And it's like normally the thing when you are feeling frazzled, that just even looks bigger and like more shiny, when you see it on social
Oh,
media,
yeah.
because you're feeling lower about yourself and the overwhelm's got there, that this all of a sudden seems perfect and you'll never get there.
Yeah.
But it's like I mean, I know we've spoke a lot like about menopause and things like that. We automatically deal with things a little bit worse with menopause, you know, with the cortisol levels and things like that. It's crap for your diet, I can get up some mornings and just feel absolutely rubbish. And I know
Mm.
it's my hormones. Are you finding more people around perimenopause age going, actually, I don't want to feel like this. I want to feel better, and like coming to you for that reason?
Yeah, because they don't want to be defeated by it. Like,
Mm,
yes, we are going to go through this change. Yes, it is going to be hard. And when we are going through those hormonal changes, or like you say, you wake up and you feel like a 2 out of 10, you just feel crap. You can instantly get that chimp brain, that little voice in your head going, oh, I feel awful. Oh God, I don't want to get up, don't want to do this. But then what I always tell myself, I'll just talk about that a second, like what I always say to myself, because I don't feel my best as soon as I wake up. But then I know, and I tell myself, I know that I'm going to feel better in a couple of hours by getting a shower, get my clothes on, get my coffee, get my food, and I'm okay. But that if I listen to that voice as soon as I wake up, like it just take over. But I know it's not that real me. I've got to get set up for the day, you know, and then I feel good. I can get out of that state of mind. But then the other thing that you asked me about was, yeah, so when we're going through like the hormonal changes, like, you know, women are kind of a bit like, I don't want this to take over. I want to have some control because I used to train and I used to deadlift and I used to go to the gym and then, you know, work's taken over and then family commitments have taken over, put myself at the bottom of the pile, but now I'm ready to put some time in for me. And, you know, I don't want to be defeated by these changes. I want to still be able to go, yeah, I'm still going to the gym. But because of the age thing, like I've got a few ladies that have signed up with me who are coming up to 40, coming up to 50, and they're saying, oh, I wanted to be fabulous at 30 and I didn't do anything. And then I wanted to be fabulous at 40 and I still didn't do anything. So now it's 50. So that's like 20 years, 10, 20 years that they've like kind of gone, yeah. But then you think you've got plenty of time. And yeah, you can reverse a lot of things. You can. Like there's no late, you know, there's no late time to start. But you're seeing this that you've got this milestone coming up and they want to feel great for then because they've just looked back and gone, shit, where's all this time gone? Have to do something now. But one big thing that stands out is that they see their parents or somebody in the family that are older and they're getting dementia, Alzheimer's, they're struggling with their health, they're not as fit as they used to be. And that scares them because they're like, I don't want to be like that. I want to try and fight against that as much as possible. So, you know, it's like the why changes because when you're 20, 30, you're kind of what you value and what you prioritize totally different to when you're 30, 40, 50. You know, you're looking at that future you a lot more and that bigger picture. Like, where am I going? Like, if I don't sort my shit out now, where am I going to be in the next 12 to 40 months? 2-3 stone lighter, struggling to get up, you know, dementia, like, yeah, you know, all these things, you know, they're looking at the bigger picture now.
Yeah. Do you know that's interesting because I think it's that wake up call, isn't it?
Yeah.
That people need. And it's a shame that we need that, but at least it comes with some people. Do you know what I mean? Where it's not too late and you can start now.
I guess you need to be like, you need something that pain. So the pain that you're in, those pain points, a lot of people use it as like a barrier, like, oh, you know, kind of saying, I don't know, like, I guess if you've got your pain points, you need to use them as drive, you know, because it's like that, I'm afraid to go back to square one, rather than using it as like a barrier for not doing something like, oh, I'm you know, I'm so unfit, I can't go to the gym yet, or I'm so unfit, I can't do this. It's like, well, say I'm so unfit, so I don't want to feel like that. So what can I do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when people start on a health journey or a mindset journey, whatever it is, it's almost like they're standing at the bottom of a mountain that's like really tall. Like, you know, it's like ridiculous. So if you've got somebody that's let's say never been in a gym environment, right? They've probably got loads of anxiety around there because it'll be like imposter syndrome as well, won't it? It's like, how do you go from getting somebody like that's not been on a health journey, not been on a fitness journey to actually start? Like, do you chuck a big program at them or are you doing it step by step? How do you do it?
So what I'd start getting somebody to do, first of all, I mean, the first thing I would say is you've got to invest in some guidance. I did it many years ago and I'm so glad because, and I was like in my 20s when I had my own first coach. So what she was telling me, like I listened to her. I mean, there was no social media back then, so there was only like 1 or 2 people you could approach. So that all that confusion, there wasn't any confusion. They just listened to that one person. But if, you know, the best thing to do to take out all the guesswork and all that is get some help and some guidance from somebody that you trust, somebody that is where you want to be, because then otherwise you're just kind of figuring it out and then you start scrolling and looking at that person and listening to that and listening to that method and that method, and then you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do for best. Your mind's blown. So then you end up going, oh God, it's like too complicated. But what I would say is if you're too scared to go to the gym, you don't need to go to the gym to get started. I would start going for walks. like 30 minutes, 60 minutes every day. Get your fitness levels up. Because this is what I said to my new clients. I'm like, go for a few walks before your first session. Go for a few walks so you're just not coming into gym and you're like, God, I ain't done anything for ages. Get some steps in first. It just raises your energy and it gets you feeling like that little bit fitter before you come in. And then the second thing is just like, you've just got to start with some really, really simple habits that you can tick off, because then your brain can see that progression and you feel good that you're making a start and you know what to do. So it's going to be water in it and your healthy food and getting out for them walks, just like the basic things first.
Yeah, interesting. What's your view on diets, right? Because there's loads around, isn't there? And you often hear women say more than men, but men do say it as well. They're like yo-yo diet. They'll go on like a specific kind of diet, stick to it, then fall off it, stick to it, fall off it. What is your view on all these diets that are going around?
So they all work for a short period of time. They are not sustainable. There's pros and cons to everything, and they are going to get you kind of they're going to get you started, but then a lot of them are not sustainable. And I think people know that, but because they kind of just go, well, it does work. It does work, so I'm going to do it. But then they know in the back of the head that it's not sustainable. So you've got to look at something you hear the word sustainable thrown about, but you've got to understand that we want to eat out. We do want to eat out. We do want to have a couple of drinks maybe at the weekend or whenever we've got an occasion. We might want to do that. We might want to get a takeaway once a week. Like it's absolutely fine. That is part, you've got to integrate that.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a diet that's demonizing something like fats are bad, avocados bad, like, your slimming groups, avocados are saying don't eat it, or then you're doing something else saying like carbs are bad, you're doing something else that's saying this is bad, it's like it's setting you up for a really bad mindset and a really bad understanding. And I'll say to like my clients and ladies that speak to, like, I'm not selling you anything. I'm telling you to eat normal food. I'm telling you to eat normal food and do normal training, and you're going to get great results from it. But what we have to tackle is the reason why you don't stick to it, or why you feel like you need to go self-sabotage when you get stressed, or you're comfy eating. We've got to tackle all those things in the background, so then you want to stick to your diet. But people go, oh, diet's a bad word, but actually your diet is just what you eat. We're all on a diet. It's just the way that you eat. But I guess this is just my own opinion, because I don't have a bad fear around the word diet. I've done diets, I've done bodybuilding. That was very restricted for a reason. But then at the end of the day, you've got to do something that you're going to enjoy, but you need the right guidance from somebody, because it is just a minefield out there. And what people don't understand is that when you're looking at all these methods and people to work with, or slimming groups or Cambridge or all this, it's marketing, it's a business. They're making money. But what a lot of these diets and these methods teach you is the first phase of your journey. So what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to lose a lot of body fat. So that way you want to lose weight, but you want to lose the body fat. So all these slimming groups and all these methods only take you through this first phase of your journey. Because what we need to do is we need to get as much body fat up as possible, and you're going to be in this like calorie deficit, but then you can't stay there forever. And this is what these slimming groups and stuff are teaching you, is like, you've got to be in this fat loss phase forever, because people don't stick to it long term, and then they put weight on, then they go back. So then they go through this first phase again, fat loss, and then they don't stick to it, and then they put weight on, and then they go back. So it's that phase one loop all the time. So what happens is, after this phase one of losing your 2 stone, 3 stone, whatever it is, we're going to go, right, we need to put a little bit more food in, and we need to bring you back into like a good place where your body wants more food after a while. If you're swimming, you're walking, you're training, your body needs more food because you're using more energy, you're building more muscle, stuff like that. So then you have to put your food up a little bit more, but no one gets past that first fat loss phase. You're just looping all the time, where you've got to, you've got to work on it long term. It could be 12 months, it could be 2 years. It's not just 6 weeks. It's not just 16 weeks. It's a long time. But that's when you can go, right, I'm going away for 2 days for my birthday, and I'm going to eat and drink what I want, within reason. I've got a hen do, I've got, I'm going on holiday for a week, I'm doing this and doing that. And then Christmas, birthdays, and we throw all these things in. And that's fine, you know, and then your journey's like that, like up and down, up and down, up and down. Do you know, rather than just going, right, I've got to lose this weight, and then life gets in the way, and then
Yeah.
no one's educated you on how to handle stress and how to handle overwhelm and how to handle setbacks and bereavements and all these things that you're stressing about. So you put weight on and then you join your journey, you do your journey again. So we've got to break past that phase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. It's like when you say like you hit a challenge in life and you've been everything off. It's like from a mindset point of view, that's like really bad because not only are you in a challenge, but you're also like self-sabotaging in a way when where you should be like from a mindset point of view. I said it to a PT group the other day. It's like if you hit a life challenge, that's when you even more need to be like disciplined or aware of what you're doing, because otherwise you'll have the challenge and then you're going to beat yourself up as well because you've fell off the wagon or whatever you've done. But it's like we're wired like to go, this is stressful, I'm gonna go and eat a load of whatever. And it's weird, isn't it? Because there's no logic in there whatsoever.
No, and you know that when you're in a good place, you know, you're going to gym and you've been eating well and you're in a good place, you know that you can handle stress and anything that life throws at you so much more. So why is it when something's thrown at you, you stop doing the things that allow you to handle life so much easier? You know, and people say, oh, I've got too much going on. That's the whole reason to look after yourself, because you've got too much on so you can handle it so much better. And the self-sabotage stops because you can handle things so much better, because you're in a better place, because you are looking after yourself, and it makes you more emotionally resilient because you're stronger minded, because you're looking after yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But like I say, that logic goes out the window.
Yeah.
Do you notice as well women's confidence shoot up when they start working on themselves? Is that one of the things you notice?
Yeah, because you know you've got more energy and you're happier, and you know you've got clarity of what you need to do. And also, like, the clients that work with me, we do a lot of work on, you know, self-growth and who they are and who they want to be, because this is why a lot of the time the ladies aren't happy, because they're either not doing the things they want because of other people in their environment are always saying things to them or getting in the way. You know, like unsupportive partners is a big one. Like, you know, your kids and partner do not need to be on your path at all. But how do you handle that? You know, how do you still go, I'm not eating the same as you today? Like, but then when everybody's kind of giving you a bit of digs and, oh, what are you eating that for? And all this, then people don't like it. You don't like it, get a bit conscious. So then you kind of just go with the flow to like people please for an easy life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I forgot what your question was now, actually. About confidence. Yeah.
Confidence,
so, yeah, massively, because you know it's something that you want to do, and you start feeling better, because when you are going for walks or you're training, you're getting them endorphins in your body, you're going outside, you're getting more fresh air, you're getting away from your screen, you're not scrolling as much, you're eating better food, so you're putting more goodness into your body, you know. And as you get older as well, like, you need more nutrients, you know, you need to, like, as you know, your nutrition is going to support your brain health as well, and you focus, you know, that clarity, and get rid of that brain fog and everything that you get from eating just a load of crap. So yeah, your confidence does go up, because you know you're in line and you're working towards this, like, this person who you truly want to be, that you aren't at the moment. So yeah. I get excited by it, because you know, like, do you know what you said about when people start the journey and they look and go, they see this massive mountain and think, God, I've got, you know, my end goal is 1,000,000 miles away. So when I started way back when working on myself, I didn't think it was far away. I was like, I was excited to get there, because it was like, do you know what I mean? I was excited to get there. The training sessions to come off, that training session is going to get me there. This meal is going to get me there. this walk's going to get me there. And I focused on it like that. Like, as much as sometimes things do feel a million miles away, you've got to look at, you are getting there as
Yeah,
well. That's not how people think. It's like, oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm like, gosh, you're bloody not there yet. But you've got to tick the things off, because you are further forward than doing nothing.
yeah, interesting. That's an interesting concept, like that you were just very driven and you
I just
just
think,
thought, yeah. So
yeah,
were you
because when
constantly tracking that? Obviously, with the bodybuilding and things, I suppose that was one of the things that you learned quite early on as well.
it was, I mean, I didn't get into it straight away, but I guess because I approached somebody who was where I wanted to be. And because of how she lived and how she looked and everything, I thought, like, this girl's going to get me where I want to be. So you have full trust in that person. So, and because I was not confident and I was pretty shy, and I wanted that lifestyle of, I want to train, I want to look as confident as these girls look, I want to eat like that. I want structure. I don't want to be going out all weekend and just drinking and eating out because I feel rubbish about it. It excited me, because I'm like, these things are going to get me to where I want to be, and this lifestyle, like, I wanted it as well. But over
Yeah,
the years, it's not as strict as you think. At first, you think it's really strict, like, but it's not. But then you get the whole, the food freedom and things like that from, doing this majority of the time, like the walks, your training, your good food. And then if you want to go out for pizza, it's not like undoing all your hard work as much, because you're more consistent in everything.
oh, that's interesting. How long was you bodybuilding for? I don't even know this. I knew
Um,
you was bodybuilding, but we've never had this conversation.
Yeah, no, so it was quite a while ago. It was like 2011. So I did it for a year, and I did, I think, one, two, three. I did 4 competitions in quite a short space of time.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, but it was just something that I kind of thought about doing. But yeah, I did well. I'd never do it again, because it's hard work, especially when you've got a business and a child. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad I did it. I learned a lot of principles that I still stand by now, such as, like, you regular eating, and getting your walks in, and just that emotion, what is it, the delayed gratification,
yeah, yeah,
because you have to cut out a lot of things. Obviously, you're doing a competition, so you're getting this end result from it, but you have to say no to a lot of things. But then when you take it away, you're leading quite a simple life. So what you have to do is, you have to kind of, you learn a bit of gratitude, because all these little things that you used to have, that meals out, or going for that coffee at Starbucks, and all these things, you couldn't do that for a little while. So then you had to kind of change how your happiness and how you felt and stuff like that. So it's like, you've probably heard that saying about living a simple life, don't you?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then I don't know how to explain it really, but yeah, just that kind of delayed gratification is a big one. Saying no to things now for the bigger picture, for that big
yeah.
result that a lot of people don't have, because of, people want fast results all the time. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
Absolutely. I think, and that's the thing with the world so fast paced. Like I talk about it a lot. Like we can go shopping, but you can get it on Amazon rather than going into town. Like everything, it's like you walk into a supermarket, you can go and buy processed food you can put in a microwave and like take a few minutes. Like everything, the world has become so easy, but at a cost. It means everybody now is looking for instant results in every area of the life. And it's kind of, we've lost that, right, let's have a long term goal and let's work towards it.
Yeah, I always remember my dad like talking about hard work. You've got to work hard for the things, and I guess most of us have heard this, haven't we? Like, you've got to work hard to get the things that you want in life. So I guess that, like, still sticks with me, because it is hard work, but then that hard work is your hard work, and no one can take that away from you. And you always remember the things that you've worked hard for, not the things
Yeah,
that you've got easy. That thing that you've saved up for, or you worked hard for, something like that, you always remember, because you worked hard for it, rather than just
yeah,
getting it.
yeah. It's interesting though. I mean, you can look around everywhere, and like I say, the instant gratification is literally everywhere. And the younger generation is probably going to suffer with it worse because they've grown up with all this technology and everything like touch of a button. So that's quite scary. But I wanted to ask you about peer groups because I know we've spoke about this before. I speak to it about everybody like that comes on a podcast. And it's one thing that a lot of people struggle with is getting around people that are on the same journey, or let's not say this specific journey, but on a path of improvement. What is your view on peer group? Because obviously we can't go around cutting everybody out of our lives.
No, well, you can. You
can.
But it'd be a bit lonely.
I just said that and I thought I've put a few.
No, but you don't kind of want to. I mean, we've all had that mindset of like cutting people out, but then you've got to still handle those people because if those people don't disappear and they're still there, you've still got to handle them. So
it's not easy.
You probably know what I'm talking. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So, but I get this because that's why I was like a little bit always motivated or driven to do and train like years ago because no one else was really doing it. So it's been a little bit different. I'm getting up at 6 a.m. to do my cardio because nobody else is doing it. Nobody that I kind of knew, like close in my environment, I'd say, or around me. So I liked that. But it's very, very hard to kind of be around people because sometimes you might feel a bit uncomfortable. Especially when people make comments, oh, what are you doing that for? Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, what, you doing that? Oh, no. And it's all like, we can take it personally and we could feel a bit maybe embarrassed or uncomfortable about it or, but then you've just got to be your biggest cheerleader. And it sounds cheesy. I don't know. I need to like kind of rephrase it somehow. But you've got to, because if you are going, I like doing this and I know that I'm going to feel great from this and I enjoy this and literally well done me. Like you don't need anybody else to tell you well done. I mean, it's nice. Of course it is. We all want to be told well done, but some people don't. Some people will never say it to you. So that's why you've got to be like, tell yourself every day, I'm doing a great job. I'm doing a great job. No matter what anybody says or what anybody thinks, I'm doing a great job. Because then you're validating it to yourself. You don't need to hear it from other people. But yeah, in terms of being around, like you've got to just find that community. And I think since working with Paul, was the time, so I've been with him probably about 4 years, is, our community that we've got. It's the first time in my life, apart from being in the bodybuilding circuit, that was a little bit different. But this is like people genuinely want you to succeed and they will like, you're smashing it and I'm buzzing for you, and people mean it. Do you know? And then you get excited for other people's journeys and we come together and, we've got this like virtual like new network and it's great but you have to find it. But I tell you what, it changes your life because it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you wanting to achieve that little bit more, like because you don't want to be the one that's going, I'm not doing it. Everyone else is. That's why I'm in the accountability group with you and Lizzie, because I'm like, I don't want to be left behind here because these two, I know like you and Lizzie are just on it, like ticking stuff off, and I love that. So it's that thing of, how do I take that? What is it? Do you look at people and everybody's got like, and it's not skills, I can't think of the word. Like people have got little skills that you want, traits. So then you have to like be around those people even more, don't you? To be like, right, well, I want to be like that. So I'm going to be around that person because I want to tick things off as well and move the needle forward.
Absolutely.
But you've got to find it. And it's okay because you'll have different groups of friends and different and groups, because you'll have some groups that, are your friends, maybe your long-term friends, you've been friends with them for years, that are kind of just, happy where they are, or maybe they're not happy where they are. And they're whinging and complaining, not doing anything about it. But then, you've got your other communities as well, where you're around people who are doing that and they are going to inspire you.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have at least one person in your life that you can contact that is inspiring you, because without inspiration, you just end up in a loop.
Yeah.
And, I think I always say to people, you've got to make the effort to find a person or a group of people that actually you just not want to be like them, but they're doing something that you know where you can. I quite like to do that. I quite like to go at that.
Yeah.
But you do have to go out of your way to find them, and that's the thing.
And you've got to like engage, like just
Yeah,
engage as well. Don't just like kind of like watch from the background, like just get involved as well.
yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It completely changes your life. There's that quote, isn't it? If you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room. But
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to be in that room all the time, but you've got to get out and be in that room at some point
Yeah,
to
because
move.
I know like a lot of us said about our last meetup that we did in Newcastle that, you know, you are around people who are doing way more than you and achieving more and all this. And whilst it feels uncomfortable, it's inspiring at the same time. And it's them really awkward emotions. Like, God, I'm nowhere near. But then it's inspiring because it makes you just step up a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah,
So don't be afraid to feel like you're not, you know, this thing is like, oh, I'm not doing as good. And I'm like, well, you might not be now, but then being around people who are doing a little bit better than you, a little bit more, or however you want to word it, you know, it's going to make you want to do that a little bit more because it's
yeah.
reminding you that you can, like you can, of course you can.
That's it. And it's there when you're around people like that. It becomes like reachable. You know,
Yeah.
they're not just on social media where you're comparing. Like you're talking to these people, and it does become reachable. And it's yeah, I find it very inspiring. So I'm glad I'll ask you about that. Right. So I get a lot of people asking me, like, brain-wise about menopause. From a diet and fitness point of view, so say you've got somebody that's quite into health and fitness anyway, let's say they've been doing it a few years, but then they reach perimenopause. What do they need to change, if anything, regarding health and nutrition?
So I would probably say that you need to kind of really fine tune what you're doing anyway. So attention to detail with like you've got to rest a little bit more, you've got to slow down a bit more because you can't just keep on hammering hit sessions and classes and all this and all that. You've got to slow down because it's like your CNS, your central nervous system, is just taking a hit even more from quite a bit of cortisol. When I mean, I'm sort of person that I used to thrive on just being busy and rushing about. I've got to be there, I've got to be there. I used to love it. And then now I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I can't do this anymore. So I've
Yeah,
really cut back. I've really cut back. I've like reduced my cardio a little bit. I'm still strength training, but you know, more veggies, like definitely more veggies, like just really like paying attention to the things that you kind of maybe just skipped a little bit before. But you've
yeah,
got to do it now, like your healthy fats and yeah, resting and sleep, your water, just like can you do 3 liters instead of 2 liters, like just fine-tuning everything, you know, eating more homemade food rather than eating out, and definitely managing your stress levels and recovery and mobility is like a big one because we used to be
yeah,
able to get away with not doing a little bit of stretching and mobility, but you've got to do it because your body's just changing, so you have to just fine-tune everything. So it ain't a case of like doing anything different, you know, your protein still got to be prioritized because as you get older you do lose a little bit of muscle mass as you get older, so your protein's got to be in there like every day, like get your protein in. What else? But then paying attention to, are you putting salt on your food because you need that sodium, your mineral? And some people go, oh no, I don't want to eat salt, but you need it. It's a mineral in your body. You know, look at your healthy fats. Are you eating salmon, oily fish? If you're not, are you taking an omega-3 supplement? You know, if you're vegan or you don't eat fish, are you getting your nuts and seeds in? Like seeds have got so many properties that are for like your tendons and your ligaments and your joints. You know, it ain't just about your bone density and it ain't just about muscle. It's looking after tendons and ligaments. It's looking after your gut health, everything. So
yeah.
it's just about fine tuning stuff because you're not 20 anymore and you can't really get away with the things that you used to do. So it's got to be a little bit more attention to nutrition, rest, recovery, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
The
one of
same
them things.
principles apply, really. The same principles
Yeah,
apply. Just maybe if you're smashing your training all the time, you've got to just rein it in a little bit, I'd say. Strength training 100%, you know, do the weights, Yeah, but then mobility, absolutely, because you're looking after your joints and looking after like how mobile you are as well now.
Yeah. So I hear all the time, obviously I'm not a fitness expert, but I hear all the time about osteoporosis and like women not needing to do strength training. So is that actually true?
Yeah. Now my mum has to take daily injections now. She found out a couple of weeks ago. She has to inject herself every day because her bone density is so poor.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and she was somebody. It's up until she met David. She'd been with him for like 7 years, and we're going doing loads of walks abroad and going out dancing all night and stuff like that, reliving her youth. But now she's really struggling to walk about, really struggling.
Right.
She's in pain, and she doesn't really show it, but she's in a lot of pain. So, going from going away and doing all these walks and everything, it's like, I'm really struggling now. But, my mum's never been to the gym and stuff like that. But I mean, you can't, like I say, you can reverse certain things. You can put yourself in a better position if you start now, but you've got to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you know what? Yeah, the start now, it's like people slow down as they get older, right? And the mindset wise, it's like the amount of people that I talk to, like that have hit 40, it's like all of a sudden I'm getting old.
Yeah, but
Like, so they calm down
oh,
on the
no, you're
gym.
not.
Well, yeah, exactly. You calm down on the gym because you're getting old, but you need it more now than ever.
Yeah.
We didn't need it so much when we were 20, 25. We need it now. And I
Yeah.
think it was Jay Alderton did a reel on it the other day when he was like, you are not old. And the minute you tell yourself you're getting old, you will stop doing things.
Yeah.
And you can look round, mate, and it's like, wow, when did everybody like that reach 40 or 45 go start saying that I'm old?
Yeah.
And
It ain't even
they're
old.
literally, yeah, and they're literally like going, right, okay, so I don't need to go to the gym now, probably don't need to exercise much, like, and they've got a proper old person mentality. I mean, what the
Mm.
hell is that all about?
No, I know. I mean, I'm 40 this year in like 3 months, and I keep putting it on my posts and stuff, but I want to like just tell people like we don't need to stop. We've got to
No,
keep doing this because it's like, where do
yeah,
you see yourself when you're 70, 80, 90? Do you still want to be doing the things you're doing, or do you want to be sat watching Coronation Street for the last 20 years of your life eating bourbon biscuits, needing help to get out of the armchair? I don't want to live a life like that. I want to still be doing walks if I can, in the with the ramblers at 80. Do you know, like, I want to be as mobile. I want my brain like as switched on as possible,
yeah,
So
yeah,
what you do now is gonna create that future you like massively.
yeah, absolutely. But then it's that delayed gratification again, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the amount of people that I just sit there and I think, come on, you need to move now. Like you turned 40, but this is not like the end of your life. We're not, you're gonna just
No. I mean,
but
me and Steve talk about it all the time. Like, where do we see ourselves? When we're like 70, 80, 90, like, where do we see ourselves? What life do we want? So then we talked about it over the last 6 to 8 months about, yeah, we need to do more mobility. We want to make some more home cooked food rather than eat out so much and stuff like that. So again, like I say, it's just fine tuning things, and you can overhaul your lifestyle easily just by like those little tweaks and fine tuning and replacing.
yeah,
Which your
yeah,
brain
it's
prefer, like your brain prefers to think of it like that rather than, oh, I'm not allowed that anymore, and I'm not allowed that anymore. Like, you can eat what you want. I had like Oreos yesterday, I had pizza, stuff like that. Like, I still eat like that, but overall, I eat for my long-term goals.
yeah. Do you know what it's interesting when I'd interviewed Luke, he was on about a lot of people are in the all or nothing mindset. And it is that with people, it's like they're all in, and then they get to a certain age, whether it's man or woman. I think both are very guilty of this. But
Yeah.
let's just say women with the menopause, it's like, right, okay, I'm not doing any of it now. And it's almost like, especially when with diets and everything, how you said about the pizza and the Oreos and things like that. I think that's the problem. People feel like they're missing out. So if you literally turn around and go, right, okay, so you just need to change your diet just a little bit, their heads go to, right, well, I can't have that anymore, and I can't have that, and I can't drink. So it's the fear of missing out. It's that all or nothing mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, because yeah, it is. I forgot what I was going to say then. I was like thinking of something else. If you tell yourself that if you're not allowed something, then you want it even more.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas I say to my clients, this is what I'm going to say actually. If I have a new client sign up, I say, look, you can eat whatever you want, but what I want you to do is understand that you know you want to be choosing to eat the better things, but you can eat what you want. Because if I start saying don't eat that, you're going to be wanting it more. But I said, you know, as an example, if somebody's got an issue with like they're eating a lot of McDonald's, just for an example, and I could say to him, right, I want you to have a McDonald's breakfast every day for me, McDonald's breakfast every day, and McDonald's for lunch every day, all and a big bar of chocolate every day, because you're saying to me that you can't stop eating them things. You're going to get it 2 weeks and you'll be like, do I still need to do this? I don't want to do it. I'm like, yes, you do. I mean, it's because you've been given it and you can do it that you don't want to do it anymore. The novelty will just wear off and you won't eat it anymore. Like, guaranteed. It's just how our brain works, as you know, like that FOMO. But
yeah,
like the thing is, if you do look after yourself a bit more, and you know, you can have that, and you can have that, and you can have that. Like you just fit it in, and it's not that detrimental. You know, it's not going to undo everything.
yeah. It's not all or nothing.
No, but people that are all or nothing are more nothing
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
it doesn't make sense. So it's like, well, how's that working out for you? Because you are doing more nothing, like literally nothing, because you want to do everything perfect. I'm not perfect. Like you can speak to anybody that, you know, does coaching. We're not perfect, but we get long-term results because we know that it ain't about all or nothing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Look, I love your saying when you say, "Come on, let's eat like an adult." Let's
Yeah.
do that. And
Like,
like,
yeah, the thing of I don't like water, it's like you just
yeah,
have to just get on with it, honestly. Just put some
it's just
dilute in it.
water.
It's not going to kill you. It really ain't. You've got to do it now. You have. It's like, but the thing is, it's like small things for a big result. And you kind of have to talk to yourself like, look, if I drink 2 liters of water a day, and if I do this and if I do this, it's going to give me that. Is it a major, major thing that I need to do? No, not really. Do you know?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not.
Like you say, we massively overthink stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like even like when you say about drinking water and that, people will still go, oh, "I can't do that. It's just, it's just
Yeah.
water."
Fine then. But it's just, you know, where are you going? Where are you gonna end up though if you keep on doing what you're doing?
Yeah, that's it. And like I say, I think when people reach a certain age, they just give up, and I think that's when it gets worse. And it's quite shocking that it's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, very uncomfortable. So I asked this question to everybody. I don't know whether you're smiling, so you might already know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right, so it's actually Javino. This is the first question I fired at him because I know he asks everybody this, so I fired it back at him first and completely, yeah. Tell me 3 good things about yourself.
Oh my God. Legal things. I'm a loyal friend. I'm a loyal person. I am very supportive with people. I want to kind of, if you say you've got a goal or something, I'm like, you know, excited for you. I'll support you no matter what. What else? I don't know. What do I like about myself? I guess I like that I have the ability to kind of, if I do lose track or kind of getting in a rut and my energy's gone and stuff, I've got the ability to sort myself out.
Yeah,
Like I've got the ability to kind of sort my shit out myself
yeah,
because
that's good.
I've learned how to, you know, that like I don't need anyone's help. I can do it, like I can do this myself. I can figure it out.
Yeah, I like that. Like quite resilient. So anybody that wants to work with you, because obviously you've got your program Project You. Let's talk about that because you've got an amazing group of women that
Thank
you
you.
hold accountable, and I think that's what we need is somebody to hold us accountable. So you certainly do that. Tell me what's involved in your program for people that are sitting on the fence going, I need to join something like that.
So the program is basically the whole life transformation, that like 360 whole health approach. So we're basically looking at creating the future you, like we've talked about, because everything you do now is creating this new version of you, not going back to the old you, We want to create this brand new version of you. Now, we don't just work on getting you back into your training or starting training and, you know, eating healthy and everything like that. We're doing it long term. And most importantly, we're going to work on who you are. So confidence is a big one. Emotional resilience, like handling whatever life throws at you to reduce that self-sabotage. We want to stop you from sabotaging because I want you to feel like you can handle anything life throws at you. I mean, yeah, we all have a whinge and we all have a meltdown sometimes, but we don't want it to last too long. And yeah, and it's just about being in a community and that environment where women are on doing the same thing as you, because I get from my own experience that's hard. Like, you're on this path, you want to change your life, you want to sort your shit out, but then you're not around people that are doing the same as you. So how do you stay inspired and motivated and driven to do that, as well as when work's busy and family commitments, you know, making this strong, resilient, healthy version of you. So it's everything that we work on. And you're our brain coach in there, which is fantastic. Yeah. So you help with rewiring everyone's brain and how to make journaling non-negotiable and how to handle stress and overwhelm, get out of that overwhelmed state. So much more than that. And then we've got Kath Allard in there, who's the nutrition chef, and she does all her meal prep mastery, which is amazing, unlimited recipes. So you've not just got me coaching, you've got like 3 great coaches in there that are supporting you and inspiring you every day.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic group. So I urge anybody to join. So where online can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Laura Smith. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you can see me on Instagram, which is Laura Smith, female coach. Or you can just DM me for my contact details.
Perfect. We'll share all the links on the podcast. Right, my lovely. Well, thank you for joining me. You are complete inspiration. I love the work you do empowering women and keeping us all accountable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. I shall see you soon. Bye.